playing black. We're going to open with, let's go back to d4 for this one. He looks like the guy in The Big Bang Theory. He's definitely an interesting guy. Alright, so you go c5. Let's go with knight f3. Take. He might be one of those guys that plays the e5 move here. Oh, okay, maybe not. So we're going to go knight c3. We're going to try to play e4 next move. Get a... now it's kind of like the white side of a Sicilian defense. I think we're going to play f4, maybe? Maybe not. Let's play a3 first. Slow down bishop to b4. We might play f4 next move, or maybe g3 is a little safer. Let's go g3. I think g3 is no problem. We can't put the bishop on g2 just yet because he picks up the c4 pawn, but now we can put the bishop on g2 with no trouble. Bishop goes to g2. If he takes c4, we have like knight to d5, which is very bad for him. What do I think of GM Navarra? Strong player. Don't really have any particular feeling or thinking in regards to him specifically. I think I'm just going to play b3 here. Seems okay. Maybe h3 and f4 pretty soon. We'll see. Queen to a5, hitting the a3 pawn. Not the easiest pawn in the world to defend. I think we have to play a4, as ugly as it looks. It's pretty ugly, though. I don't really want to play it. Is there anything different? I think we have to, though. Yeah, it's not a very pretty looking move. We're just going to castle next move, most likely. Could you recommend a chess book for middle games? I suck at them, especially in complex positions where you don't know what to do. Depends on your level. What's your level, Mohit? I think I've played you before. I don't remember what your rating was. I'd say Reassess Your Chess by Jeremy Silman or The Amateur's Mind by Jeremy Silman. I do have a copy of each of them. Those are both definitely good middle game books to kind of start off with, for sure. For a 1050 rating, I think those could still be okay books to start off with. This knight g4 move's a little annoying. I can't play bishop d2 because of knight d3 check. So I think I have to play bishop to bishop f4. I would love to castle next move. If he lets me castle, I'll be a happy camper. Or play h3. If he plays g5, that's actually a little annoying. g5 is not a bad move at all here. It would force me to take his knight on e5, pretty much. At least I'm ahead on time a little bit. That's a good sign. Okay, there's the g5. I guess he's a mind reader. I think we pretty much have to take the knight. If we go to d2, he gets knight d3 check, and that's really bad. So we got to take this. He'll take back with the knight. We are threatening to take it. And I think we just get castle. If we get to play f4, then we're back to being pretty good. F4 is a little bit harder now, though. F4, he just takes. I think we're playing h3 here. Now we're going to play queen to d2. I'd love to play queen h6 and then attack the h5 pawn. Okay, king g7 stops queen h6. He's playing pretty well up to this point as far as I can tell. I do think now we are going to play f4 though. We kind of got to go for an attack here. Open things up. We are ahead in development. His bishop on c8 is not developed, and our king is a little safer than his, in my opinion. If he just decides to move the knight, then we're going to be happy as well. He could check and pick up the b3 pawn. Yeah, is he going to play bishop g5? Oh, that's annoying. Alright. No, he's going to play bishop g5. Alright, I guess we're checking. If he plays e5, we're just going to give up the exchange and then plop our knight on the d5 square. What's the difference between USCF and FIDE? Not a whole lot. I think it's about 100 points from what I've heard. We're losing the exchange here. Not really much we can do about it, but we will have a nice square for the knight on d5, at the very least. At the very least. We also have queen g5 check threatened. So his king is actually not very safe. Queen g5 and then rook f6 will checkmate him. So he plays f6 to stop that. This guy's definitely on top of the threats in the position. I think we're playing knight d5 now. Knight takes f6 is a threat, maybe. Take queen g5 check, rook g6, queen e7 check, king g8. It almost works. I wish it did. So for that reason, we're going to retreat and then reposition a little bit. I want to play h4 and bishop h3 at some point. If I can get rid of this bishop, then this knight will become a monster. 100% monster. The question is it that easy? I'm going to kind of go all out for it. If I lose a couple pawns, we are very low on time. If I lose a couple pawns for it, I need to get rid of this bishop. So I'm going to take. If the queen takes, I'll play king h2 and bishop h3. Will you ever see a super talent break 3,000 rating, or is that playing impossible? Kind of like what StarCraft just said, you have to have other people around that rating to reach that rating. So if everybody progressively starts getting better and better, and you get some 2900s that are around there, then yeah, then it'll definitely be possible. But at the moment, I don't see it being something that's going to happen. Queen a2, this is quite annoying. If he plays rook b2, I'm kind of sad. Yeah, I'm kind of sad. Okay, I guess we're playing queen here. Maybe queen a7 check. I don't know. Take. Knight e3 to f5. Alright, I guess we're going full endgame mode. Actually, this could be a draw. With correct play, rook a3, take. This should actually be a draw here. He gets e4, I get d6. This should objectively be a draw. From what I can tell. Actually, is there a chance of me winning this? I don't think so. This should be a draw, though. I'm just going to offer the draw. He has to play f4, obviously. Even if he wins this pawn, there's no way he can promote, so this is just a draw. I'm just going to stay in front of the rook pawn. Yeah, so he offered the draw. Okay. So let's analyze this one. He played the opening pretty well. Better than I did. The opening goes fine. Rook c1, bishop g2, b3. His queen a5 move is actually pretty good because it forces me to play a4. His knight g4 move also on top of that is pretty good because I have to play bishop f4. And then his g5 move is pretty good, which forces me to take. And now I'm stuck with a bad bishop behind all of these pawns. If I could get an F4, it would also be nice, but he plays G4 to stop that. So this guy was on top of things for sure here. Played very well for Santosian here. H3. I would love him to take, and then I could play F4 later, and then at least have a kingside attack. Instead, he played H5. I played Queen D2, King G7. He even stops the Queen H6 move that I wanted to play. Queen H6 to attack the pawn, maybe. King G7, F4, take, Bishop G5, skewering my queen and rook. I played the check here so I can at least give myself the knight on the D5 square. Excuse me. Lose the exchange. Queen G5 check is a big threat. If he plays Bishop E6, I have checkmate unstoppable. He plays F6 to stop that check, seeing all the threats, which is very good for him. Knight D5, Bishop E6, Knight E3. I don't really want to let him do Bishop takes Knight. This is definitely my best piece, and this Bishop on G2 is pretty horrid. If he can get rid of my Knight, I've really got no chance in this game, so I have to keep the Knight at all costs type thing. B5. I don't really want to exchange and give him the open file very easily. I figured the only way I can win this game, or probably draw this game, is if I get rid of this bishop and then get a knight on f5 or something like that. So I play h4, take, king h2, wanting to play bishop h3, rook b8, bishop h3. Check is very annoying. I can't retreat or else he grabs the piece for free. So I had to play knight g2, rook b2. I can't take the bishop again because of rook takes here and I get checkmated. So I played queen g1 to guard the knight. He took. I don't think he needed to exchange the rook for knight here. He's not, like we saw, it was just a draw. It's not completely winning. But it is a little bit scary if he allows the knight onto d5 or onto f5. But I think he's better here. Maybe just, I don't know, rook b8, knight e3, and then like rook to b3. Because even if I get the check, I move. I don't have... Well, maybe I have check here. That's kind of a sticky situation, maybe. At the end of the day, he does give up the exchange. He's up a pawn right now, but I can. It's very important here also. I'm down a pawn, and I need to have my rook as active as possible. If I play rook c3 and I just passively defend the pawn, I should probably lose this game. He'll play a5, I walk over, a4. Actually, probably just walks his king over. He plays like... He can start attacking my g3 pawn, and it's hard for me to defend. He can start pushing pawns. He can play f5. This is very tough for me to defend, in my opinion. I have to go kind of active here. I played rook a3 to attack the a6 pawn. Take. And this should really objectively be drawn like we saw, especially at this point. We're back even in material, and there's just no way he can win this position. Even though he's up a pawn, there's no way he can force the pawn to promote. Alright, so we get a draw there. It's not